Wrong Carrier by Stephen Lake. A pilot in a specialized transforming space fighter, a ship that could convert into a mecha as needed, which allowed it to be both multi-role and highly versatile, came in low and fast over the water as he rapidly approached the sea-going fleet that was his home base. He soon zeroed in on a carrier at the center of the formation and began his approach. Home ship 41, this is KPC-9. I'm coming in for a landing, said the pilot. KPC-9, who are you? Came the reply. I'm KPC-9, a support fighter from your naval group. There was a long pause on the other end. KPC-9, I think you have a wrong carrier. The pilot was confused by this. No, you're the right one. Let me do a slow flyover so you can see me. Okay, please approach KPC-9. The space fighter soon came alongside the carrier and floated there effortlessly as the people on the deck of the ship got a good look at his aircraft. KPC-9, yeah, but definitely not from our carrier. I mean, just look at you. You're huge, came the reply from the carrier. The pilot laughed. You guys are so funny. My ship isn't that big. Now stand by. I'm coming in for a landing. Wait, no. KPC-9, you're too big. Don't land, came the frantic reply. However, the space fighter pilot ignored this wave off and moved his ship into place over the deck before gently touching down. However, as soon as he did, portions of the deck began to buckle under the immense weight of his space fighter. The pilot heard this and was a bit worried. Home ship 41, what's that noise? He asked in confusion. You idiot. The deck is collapsing under the weight of your aircraft. Now get in the air before you do more damage, came the horrified reply. Thinking that the carrier crew was just picking on him, he floated back into the air and then transformed his fighter into its mecha form before setting it back down on the deck again. Is that better? As you can see, my fighter doesn't weigh that much. Ever. Suddenly the mecha lurched under him and seemed to grow a bit shorter. Oh my god. KPC-9, you're falling through the deck. Take off. Take off before you sink us, came the horrified cries from the carrier. The pilot looked towards the tower in confusion. Are you guys just messing with the aircraft lift and making me think I'm... Again, the mecha lurched and seemed to grow still shorter. Confused by this, the pilot looked down and noticed that bit by bit he was slowly sinking into the ship. The pilot lifted one leg of the mecha to help it climb out of the hole it had created in the ship, only to instead sink still deeper into the vessel as the entirety of its massive weight was now focused onto one single point, causing it to sink even faster into the ship as it rapidly crashed downward, one drop at a time, through deck after deck after deck. Eventually, a massive gusher of water exploded up from beneath him, bathing his canopy in a huge wash of water. Realizing that he was in more trouble than he knew, he fired up his drive thrusters in an effort to fly up into the sky. But instead they began to increase the amount of damage he was doing to the carrier, blowing planes, equipment, and even a few people off the ship and into the sea as he did. Finally climbing free of the ship, the pilot looked down at where he had been standing and realized that not only was there a massive, mecha-shaped hole through the center of the ship, the carrier was also quickly beginning to sink. Soon sirens and cries of abandoned ship echoed all through the carrier. Within a very short amount of time, the carrier sank beneath the waves and disappeared from sight. Realizing the massive, destructive mistake that he'd just made, the pilot quietly transformed his mecha back into its space fighter configuration and then ascended high into the sky. It was at this moment he realized that yes, indeed, he'd landed on the wrong carrier. Understanding the gravity of his now massive mistake, he rolled gently to the left and headed over to another carrier, not far away. That was his actual home. But as he did, he looked back at the place the other carrier had been and the efforts that were now underway to rescue the crew of the sunken vessel. He sighed in dismay. Man, I am so getting written up for this. The end.